The bat swinging, the ball's flying through the air, stumps crashing, it's a cricket affair. Get ready to groove, time to make some noise. Cricket podcast, we're here to fill the void. In the stadium, the crowd's going wild, the energy's high just like a child. We're here to bring you all the latest cricket news with electronic beats. We'll show you the news.
Hello and welcome to the Legends and Lads Cricket Podcast. I am Chirunandhan Srinath, your host for this week. Sitting next to me is Krishna Maitreya. And for the very first time, we are doing an offline cricket podcast. And what a moment for us to do it. India have been crowned as the World T20 Cup champions. The second World T20 Cup. It's coming home and we're all excited. No words, only emotions. Go into this 82nd episode of the Legends and Lads Cricket Podcast. Krishna Maitreya, yesterday, we won the final by 7 runs. What a final that was. We were losing our way when it came down to the 15th or 16th over, where it was 30 required of 30. And then, from then, whether it was Hardik Pandya's over, after that Arshdeep's over, Jasprit Bumrah, and back to Hardik Pandya. That catch the catch that Surya Kumar Yadav took of the last over, the first ball of the last over, that was a winning moment for us. But we will talk one by one. But how does it feel to be the World T20 champions? There is so much excitement. And the moment India won here, I was watching the mobile and I ran around in my home, jumping, and I twisted my ankle. So it's such a bright moment for us and a really historic moment for Indian cricket because we are winning it after 13 years. So, yeah. What do you say? How are you feeling?
Yes, I'll actually feel very excited because India and South Africa both have been unbeaten this whole tournament, and it's a really tough match. It went neck to neck, and I think India came out well because India were the better side, and we've been playing T20 for the last 3 months. From IPL time, we have been playing all the Indians, and this is I think the format where India has put in a lot of interest, from the time it has begun in 2007 when we won. So at 2007, when we won the T20 World Cup, it was not considered a big achievement because that was just a rise of the T20 and many elders in the team had boycotted that tournament. They given to the youngsters and that time Dhoni won it. But later on, it has become a more prestige issue, like the ODI World Cup. And we have lost in 2014 finals, we are lost in 2016 semi-finals, and then 2021 semi-finals, and everywhere we're coming to the knockouts and losing. But I think this time we had it in us, and this was, I think, the best team because the players who are very senior and at the fag end of their career, and they're players who have just come into the team and they're finding their way through. And I think this mixture of seniority and the youngsters is what have made the winning combination right for the team. So over to you, Chiru.
Yeah, and also you mentioned about the 2014 T20 World Cup. I still vividly remember because it was one of the first game that I watched cricket live. Okay, I started watching cricket late, maybe as an 8-year-old. But I still remember India losing to Sri Lanka. It was our summer holidays, if you remember, in our third standard. And then I remember how dejected I was, saying one of my first matches and India losing a final. Didn't know so much about cricket back then. But then 10 years later, we are here, redemption for cricket team, because we have lost how many ICC tournaments after then, we only count. So, yeah, and after that, we have seen emotional moments, right? After the game, we saw Virat Kohli crying. Rohit Sharma had tears in his eyes. And did you see Rahul Dravid celebrating? You wouldn't see Rahul Dravid becoming so emotional. The way he was throwing up his hands when he held the World Cup. I think these moments are really rare and they got the correct farewell for them. They deserved it totally because Virat Kohli is retiring from T20 Ice. Rohit Sharma, the captain, is retiring from T20 Ice. And Rahul Dravid, what a legend he is, because World T20, World Test Championship, World Cup, and World T20 Cup qualified to finals in just 12 months. This has all happened in space of 12 months. We lost the Test Championship and World Cup, but we won this. He's a legend and he deserved it totally. And really good farewell to all these 3 legends. Again, huge thanks to them. And if you even notice, Harsha Bogle mentioned that he has never seen hard men cry. and it's such an emotion for to see a mentally what's a strong person like Virat or Rohit Sharma to cry, because it is emotional. And we also know Hardik Pandya. I mean, what a story he has. The IPL, the fans booing, and that final over. We'll talk about all that, but talk about those three legends retiring now.
Yes, so I think it's a fitting favor for them because this is like after a span of 10 years that India is winning a cup. And obviously, they have toiled so hard because every person's dream is to win the trophy for the country. And it has become, very difficult job for the last 10 years. And that to come to many knockouts and losings and all that. And, I think this is like the cherry on the top because all that they have gone through the sacrifices, and you have mentioned the last 12 months have been really uh, wonderful jobs they've been doing. They come to the finals, but history doesn't see if you come to the finals, they see if you won it or not. So I know that's why people say Australia, Australia, but I think India needed this victory because we are the world number one and we need to prove it by winning the finals, so that people talk about us as world number one. And I think Rahul Dravid got his favor because as a coach he has got us to the finals, and people remember us only if we win the trophy. And I think Rahul Dravid has done a really good job because he didn't get a farewell as a player also, and I think now as a coach he got a fitting farewell. And then coming to Rohit and Virat, I think it's really sad that they're leaving today. But I think it's a fitting favor because they have chosen the right, time, because it's time for the youngsters to come into this, this format, and it's also time for them to end on a high note. So I think everything goes as well as planned.
And also, not many are lucky to get this kind of a farewell. I mean, you see Dhoni, he has retired from ODIs with that run out. I mean, it's not a good moment to be in, and not all are lucky to win a World T20 Cup final and then retire. So this is very good for them. Yeah, so I will talk about how I watched the finals, right? So I watched it from ball one. I I was actually outside. I was watching the phone, while standing and eating in a hotel and everything, all sorts of things. And I was really happy India's doing well. Virat hit good amount of runs. He got a redemption. Throughout the tournament, he had a bad phase, but he scored runs when it mattered the most. But to talk about the second innings, it was all going in India's way until that 14th or 15th over when Akshar Patel bowled. 24 runs of that over. I mean, he did so well, whether it was batting in the final or whether it was batting, bowling, fielding in the rest of the tournament. He did so well. He had a good tournament, but that 24 runs in that over, oh my God, I think that was so depressing. And I even thought India was going to lose. I switched off the Hotstar. I was, I opened my Google and I was seeing the scorecard. No, and there is a game that comes up when you see Google Live scorecard. So I was playing that game to calm down myself, and then I see Hardik Pandya taking Henrik Klassen wicket. I mean, there's a live update, right? So I saw Henrik Klassen falling, and then I see only singles coming in that over. And I think, okay, we can do a comeback. And then obviously in the next over is Jasprit Bumrah. I mean, the more than anything else in that final, I think those two dot balls to David Miller mattered the most because that over was so very good. He was bowling very tight length line, and there was so much control in his bowling. He got that wicket, that one that nipped back in, and also after that, Harshdeep took on, and the bowling was really excellent. Hardik Pandya is the man tonight. I mean, yesterday, whatever. He was the man because we already mentioned that he had a very bad phase in IPL, and then coming out of that and scoring it, he had tears when he won it, right? He bowled really good. And yeah, so we'll talk about Hardik Pandya and then we'll go to that Surya Kumar Yadav's catch, right?
Yes, so I think it's redemption for Hardik Pandya because the IPL was one of the baddest phases you can ever get as a sports person because you coming to your team which had your back. He came back to Mumbai Indians from Gujarat, and then people shunning him out, booing him, the home crowd not giving him support, online trolling, online backlashes. No one is being spared, and every sorts of nonsense was happening for him. And he was, actually, if any person in that case will be emotionally down, but I think he made a strong performance in this World Cup. With that kind of online abuse, coming back and performing well for your country, the same people who that day have trolled you have today come and supported you. So I think playing for your country, he has got back in touch. All these people who hated him are now coming to say good Hardik Pandya. So I think this is a big turnaround for him, and which way better to do, instead of waiting for till the next IPL to prove himself. He did it just next month in the T20 World Cup and has won all of our hearts. So I think very good for him.
And also, just talking about the winning moment, right? After India won, I mean, there was that ambience noise coming from the crowd when you see in Star Sports or Disney Plus Hotstar. And there you can hear the Lehrado song, and then there are all goosebumps coming. And then if you just see a clip, there was a short glimpse of Jatin Sapur, whom we interviewed. He was singing on the mic there, Lehrado. And I really wonder, I mean, when India won yesterday, if we were to do the podcast immediately after India won, I don't think any word would have come out of our mouths, because that was how emotional we were. I still wonder how those people are talking about it, because it takes a lot of professionalism to talk about such a great victory. Anyways, yeah, we'll talk about Surya Kumar Yadav, right? He didn't bat well, and that catch, he didn't catch the ball. I mean, that boundary catch, he caught the World Cup, because the World Cup came into her hands because of that catch. That boundary when it was a low full toss and David Miller hit straight down the ground, I thought it was going for six, and I just closed my eyes and I suddenly I hear commentators screaming, and I look. Surya Kumar Yadav has managed to pull it off, and there was a boundary check where my heart was beating double the rate, but only to find out that it was safely taken. It was a wicket, and David Miller was gone, and then yeah, we pulled back things. So that's Surya Kumar Yadav's catch. You have to talk about it, because that is the moment where we won the cup. And one more to add: 2007 T20 World Cup, Srishant takes the catch and we won. And now Surya Kumar Yadav takes the catch, because two catches, two World Cup glories.
Yes, so as bowling and batting is important, I think fielding is also very big, part of the game, because each run that we save is very important. And I think Surya Kumar Yadav, if it would have gone for a six, it would have been tied. So I think that's how fielding is very important. Each run that we save, it mattered in the end. It was just 7 runs. So it would have, and that too, if you see the fielding medal that the coach has given, I think that is what is being, motivating the players to do this, because each match you go out there, batsmen get, if they perform well, man of the match or most sixes or something. Bowlers, they get recognized for taking the wickets. But fielders, others are also important. I think the fielding coach has done a good job, motivating them by giving them that fielding medal, calling one legend every day to the dressing room and getting them, making it like a big thing, because fielding is often overlooked in this sport. And I think it's a very good thing that they have brought it up. And, and then this mattered, because if not for this catch, we would have lost the match, because Miller would have been there, and, Killer Miller can do anything. So I think this is one of the best moments in Surya Kumar Yadav's, I think, his whole career. I think he'll remember it as one of his best moments.
Yeah, and we have to talk about Jasprit Bumrah, because just imagine you're bowling a World T20 Cup throughout the World T20 Cup, and it's had an economy of just 4 runs. I mean, who can have it? It has to be someone so legendary like Jasprit Bumrah to have such a kind of economy. Those wickets that he has got, the right movements, whether it was with Pakistan, whether it was with South Africa in the finals, it is all he absorbs the pressure. He is ready to do anything. He does the impossible possible. He is a man. Oh God, no words. But Jasprit Bumrah is world's number one bowler, right? He won the man of the series yesterday, and the way he bowled, I think all 1.2 billion hopes on that Jasprit Bumrah over, because he made the comeback there. So not only in this match, whether it was the Pakistan match or whether it was throughout the tournament, Jasprit Bumrah is a superstar. Because if you remember, he got injured a few months ago, and there were a lot of criticizers, saying he has not been in the best of his form, and they were really setbacks for maybe a short setback for him, but he really proved them all wrong, and he is a legend, a living legend.
Yes, if you see that 2023 ODI World Cup, it was Shemi who was performing. I think this T20 World Cup, it was Bumrah. And I think Bumrah did a much better job than Shemi because T20 is a much demanding sport compared to ODI. And just 4 overs you get. And he took many crucial wickets and he has kept the economy, as I've said, to four. So he has done one of the, best jobs that a person can do. And since it's a team sport, and these matches, it's completely opposite to the IPL because the IPL have been very high scoring games. And this match has been, this whole tournament has been, I think, more of a bowler's game. So I think what Jasprit Bumrah has done, lead the team bowlers because Arshdeep is, kind of inexperienced. Siraj was there, who was kind of inexperienced. And the spinners are there. But spinners, sometimes they get hit, sometimes they take wickets. You saw Akshar Patel yesterday. So I think Bumrah, as a senior in the team, has led the bowling attack. And I think he has done it the way he should have done it. And I think this whole thing, we have to recognize Bumrah's, bowling performance because that's what stood out the whole tournament. And I think if you're in the finals and have won it, I think Bumrah should get a special mention this time.
Yeah, and now we'll just slowly go into the match. From the beginning, because we have all gone through, backwards from the moment that we won it. So India scored 176 for 7, right? And Rohit Sharma was in good touch, but he gave away his wicket. And then there was Virat Kohli, who was shifting gears in the first over. He got 3 boundaries. I think the second over, sorry, he got 3 boundaries. Of that, who was the bowler? Oh, sorry. Was it Anson? Yeah. Okay, he got 3 boundaries of that over, and then Rishabh Pant was gone for a duck, and Surya Kumar Yadav came in. He threw away his wicket, and then there was a need for Virat to stay in the crease and play that anchor role that he did it brilliantly. He's been doing it every time before this. So he stuck himself to the ground, and then Akshar Patel was sent ahead of many of his seniors, and he did well, right? He batted through the tough phase. He was not only playing that anchor role, but he was hitting them for sixes and fours. He was giving the boundary, and he was relaxing Virat Kohli at the other end, saying, you can stay here. I will take the risk. I will hit the boundaries. Led a magnificent 47 or 48, whatever it was. That Quinton de Kock run out was so good that he had to go back. But Akshar Patel, overall, the tournament was very good. And I think his batting yesterday was really, it needs to be appreciated. Let's not talk about his 24 runs in that over, but he's been brilliant. And then Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma said, right, Virat Kohli is saving it for the final. I mean, me being a Virat fan, I myself wanted Virat to drop out of the final. I wanted Yashasvi Jaiswal, maybe not out of the final, but I didn't want to rule him out. But I wanted him to bat at number 3 because I was scared. But the belief that the team had in him, he showed it because he is a man of big occasions. He played brilliantly. After reaching his 50, he hit those 2 sixes and a 4 that brought a change in his strike rate as well. But I think if Virat was not there, if that experience was not there, I don't think we would have scored that much. I think we would have been bundled out for 100 and we would have got another heartbreak within the next 6 months. I mean, after that 6 months lost to Australia in the Cricket World Cup final. Yeah, so talk about Virat Kohli, man of big occasions.
Yes, so Virat Kohli, as usual, is experienced one because he's the king of cricket, and I would actually, I was thinking, as you said, Jaiswal could have been better, but in the end, I think in such big occasions, experience matters because however performance you do now throughout the tournament, I think in that kind of a match pressure, I think Jaiswal is too young to take it, and we can't rule him out completely. But coming to the finals, I think. People like Virat are the ones to go to because they have played hundreds of matches and won many occasions for India. If you see, he has been through many matches, like the Pakistan match. I can never forget that. So I think he is the right person to go to. And as usual, he has, as Rohit Sharma said, he has kept it for the finals and he has really performed. And I think he got a very fitting farewell for from his T20 eyes. And I'm really happy for him. And hope so. I think we continue on this winning streak when the next coach, mostly Gautam Gambhir, also comes.
Maitreya, not to forget the South Africa, the team that has the most underrated team after New Zealand. I think they're along being the underrated team, they're the most unluckiest team. I think they are the RCB of the international cricket because they actually try very hard. I mean, this is the first time that they have come into a World Cup final. As a true cricket fan, you have to feel for them because history have not been quite good with on their side. I mean, it's not been it's always been hard on their side because they whether it was that 1990s semi-final loss to Australia, that underarm controversy, or anything else, because South Africa has been a team that has produced so many legends. Asim Amla, AB de Villiers, Quinton de Kock right now. There's been many players that we, that they, that we want them to we want to picturize them with the World Cup or or an ICC tournament, but unluckily they haven't got anyone yet. So what do you feel for South African cricket team? I'm sure they're going to do something in the future, near future. They come to the finals, and I hope so. Some tournament they win in the future, if not for India.
Yes, so I really feel bad for South Africa because throughout the history, we were the chokers of the decade, the last decade. But I think they're the chokers of the full cricket, history because they have won only one tournament. They have won only the 1998 Champions Trophy, but otherwise they have not won any ICC World Cup or T20 World Cup. So and they don't have any regional tournaments. Like how we had the Asia Cup. They don't have any other tournament like that. So in any of the major tournaments, they have not performed to get the trophy. But if you see, they have very deserving players. They had Dale Steyn, AB de Villiers, Mone Morkel, and Jack Callis. All those kind of players. Who had shown a lot of talent, who have been many people's favorite. Across the world, they have been garnering supporters. And I just said, this team is like one of the most underrated because they have the great 11 players, to get the cup. But something happens, and then we have seen yesterday they lost by 7 runs, and then we have seen some kind of some places luck was not favoring them, like 1999 World Cup semi-finals. It was a tight match, but they had given to Australia because Australia was in the points table, they were higher. So such kind of rules, always not on their side. And I think this is the first time they've come to the finals, in T20 World Cup, and I think it's a good step for them. Always in the semi-finals losing, come to the finals now. I think the next step will be winning. So I think they're going step by step. So I think India deserved it this time because the heartbreaks and losses for the 10 years continuously, and maybe it's used to South African fans are used to it, but I think Indian fans really wanted it because we had a phase where we are winning everything. 2007 World Cup, 2011 World Cup, and 2013 Champions Trophy. That phase was really good. But after that, a dry phase, and India is like the hub of cricket because we have like a great population and large money for the sport, and the IPL is here. And I think cricket, even if you say it was born in England, I think it's been nurtured in India. So I think India winning the tournament is actually really good for the sport also, if you see, for the fans to increase, for the sport to popularize, because Indians are all over the world right now. And if the sport has to popularize, I think for a big country like India to win, it will take, a big leap into the thing. But I also feel bad for South Africa because they've been trying very hard. And I think next time, if India falters anywhere, anytime, it can happen. I'll always root for South Africa because they're the really deserving team.
Yeah, South Africa is my second favorite team, as you said. And one more thing that I want to say is after the win, I mean, I'm trying to sleep, and there is only visuals of Rohit Sharma lifting the trophy. It was 1:30, is not getting sleep. 2 o'clock, not getting sleep. 2:30, not getting sleep. And finally, I think around 2:30 to 3, I could sleep peacefully, and then immediately got up at 7 o'clock. So very less sleep. I don't think there are any what do you call blackheads or what do you call this? Okay, there none of them under below my eyes, but it's still a very happy moment for us to see India win the World Cup. Did you sleep peacefully, Maitreya?
Obviously not, because after 10 years, India is winning a tournament, and when 2013, we were just I think 7 or 8 years old. That's it. So we didn't, even though we knew we had to celebrate, we didn't have much to celebrate because we didn't know the players very well. We are not very familiar with the sport, but after all these years, from the time we have got, the connect with the sport, I think it's the first time India has made a major victory. So obviously this is like the first victory we have seen, personally, because we have lived it. Because 2011 World Cup, we were very small, whole country saw it, but even though we would have seen it, we don't remember much of it because we were really small then. But I think after we grew up, this is the first time we are, rejoicing a victory. We have seen it live. And because all these players, through, if they have played the game, all the million fans out there have been, with them, because we have visualized how they are going to play. We have always supported them, everywhere. So it's as much as their victory, it's our victory also, because we have put our heart and soul into supporting them, and they are like representing us. What we want to do, actually they are doing it on behalf of us. So it's all of our victory, and I think that's why we had to cherish it. And obviously you won't get sleep on such nights, and because you're celebrating a lot.
You talked about rejoicing, but I think I didn't rejoice it well, because if it was in the month of November, where the Diwali month, I think I would have bought firecrackers. Unfortunately, it's not put in my place here today. No sale of firecrackers. But if it's there, I would have sent rockets to my neighbor. He would have also come out scolding me, and then he'll end up rejoicing along with me. So I think, yeah, should have been in the month of November. We would have celebrated a lot. Nevertheless, we won the World Cup. That's enough for us. And we are all waiting for the T20 World Cup to come to India. I'm sure it will be given a tour. It will be taken around the country. And I don't think I will be able to see the trophy or touch the trophy or anything like that. But it's fine. I mean, it's coming home. Also, I am joining my college in I think tomorrow. And seeing this World Cup win and going to the college where I won't be able to do any podcast, I think this is the icing of the cake, right? Because once you go into a hostel, you feel homesick. You want your home, you want your mother. But now, you get that homesick feeling. But you're going to the hostel knowing that India has won the World Cup. So I think that neutralizes the feeling of homesick, and that gives happiness to you. And I think this moment, this winning moment, will always run in my mind, I think, for years to come. And this this small part of happiness is my life. So this small part of my life is happiness. I think I've told the other way. uh, so yeah, Maitreya, thank you for coming. This has been an amazing episode, because this has been offline cricket podcast that we are doing for the first time. And I just want to, because it's our 82nd episode, and it's also our first offline podcast, I thought we can talk about a little bit of our story, how we started, maybe just 5 minutes talk into that. Because recently, I will not reveal the sponsor. It's a huge detergent brand of India who wanted to sponsor our podcast, but we were unlucky to we couldn't reply them on time because of our own restrictions and priorities. And the studies are priorities. We couldn't get a chance to collaborate with them, but we are really good off. I mean, the way we started, the humble beginning, and such a huge detergent brand. I won't reveal the name, obviously, because privacy matters. Uh, to the way where we started, and to the to the moment that we are living here. To I mean, so many interviews we did, right? Jatin Sapru, Gautam Bhimani, Mayanti Langa, was that Murli Karthik,
Definitely.
Vijay Lokapalli sir, and Rakesh Rao sir, who have been our support throughout the journey, because there are mentors, there are grandpas, there are gurus, there are teachers. They taught us how to do this. They're so humble. I mean, just imagine a person who has worked in the Hindu for 45 years to come with us, sit with us, do an hour, and expect nothing from us, and they give us selflessly. So this podcast is rightly named the Legends and Lads Cricket Podcast. It was formerly the Atom Bay Cricket Podcast, a weird name that we changed into Legends and Lads. Legends are the two legends, Vijay Lokapalli sir and Rakesh Rao sir, and the lads are we two young teenage enthusiasts. I mean, in a few years, we'll be going from the teenagers phase, but still we are lads because they are legends for us. So your experience coming into this podcast, because we didn't expect anything of this to happen. We didn't expect a huge detergent brand to approach us for sponsoring. We didn't expect all. I don't think when we started this podcast we thought we will be interviewing this person, Jatin Sapru. I mean, I think that is such a huge achievement for us today. We just started it and we got everything that we didn't want. I mean, something good. So, talk about this journey for you.
Yes, so actually, this is a really special part, of my life because it all started in the lockdown time, and no one expected in the first place that there'll be something like the lockdown. So we were just in our ninth standard, and one day I get a message, Chiru, you tell me we want to do something. You have done a few podcasts by the time and short ones, and you made me listen to that, and you asked your feedback, and I gave mine, and then he asked me, "Do you want to join?" So as a cricket enthusiast, it was something new. And I actually, by the time, I didn't know something called podcast were there. I didn't know what is podcast. So I just knew something YouTube because, we were in hostel and not much of technology. So it was something new. I was really excited, and we didn't think much of it. We didn't know it was going to last this time, this long. And I thought it was just something for the time being. But, the way it has come out to be today, because we have interviewed many people, as you told the names, and we have been very lucky to have worked with, Vijay Lokapalli sir. We are working with Rakesh sir now. So all these people, great journalists, very experienced people, they're coming, sitting down with us, sharing their views and, treating us, just like equals. So I think this thing has, as I said, so many episodes we have done. It has taught us many things, from the time, the beginning, refining our work, making it more audience friendly, thinking what to do more better. It has refined us in a more better way, made us think more better, watch the game more better, analyze better, improve for, so many things that we have on the way improved. And I think this is one of the best things, I've done so far because, everyone they ask, what do you do by the time you're, I'm going to this college, I've just finished this. What are your hobbies? No one says, at this age, we have done a podcast like this, we have interviewed these people. So I think it's actually really my fortune because to join Chiru into this because he had, come up with this revolutionary idea. So I didn't have any ideas like this, but he came up with such a great idea and he's been working this long, almost 4 years now. And I'm really amazed because it will continue for many more years to come. And we have interviewed so many people, on and off breaks because we have to go to the hostel, but still it has worked out for us. And it's more of not for a goal. We do it just for the joy because we are cricket enthusiasts and, talking about it, sharing our experiences, sharing our analysis, that is just for the joy that we do it. And we have been getting great responses for just doing it out of joy, and I think that's what matters because anything you do out of passion, that's what reaches people's hearts. And I'm really thankful, Chiru, for calling me that day because if not, I don't know where I don't know, I would not be part of this wonderful thing. So I should thank you first and all.
Oh, you spoke a lot, Maitreya, but this journey wouldn't be possible with you as well because I don't think I would have got motivated to sit alone and do all this. So it's a part where it's a part of a journey where we both came along. Uh, Now I think you will be lonely because once I return to the college, you will have to you have the responsibility to continue this podcast. And let me tell you, Legends and Lads is not going anywhere because a lad will be sitting and doing podcasts with the Vijay Lokapalli sir and Rakesh Rao sir. For me, it will be a break, 6 months gap for me where I'll come back whenever I have holidays or whenever I'm free. Uh, Maitreya will continue Legends and Lads Cricket podcast. And thank you. It's been a wonderful moment for us, sitting today because after 81 episodes, it took us 3 years, 4 years to sit next to each other, share the same mic, and speak into the same recording equipment and record an offline podcast. That is a moment for us to cherish. And what a moment after India win World Cup. So the plan was actually, if India wins the World Cup, we talk about World Cup. If India loses, we'll talk about the story of our podcast. But I think we managed to do both of them today. So thank you, Maitreya, and many more episodes to come now. You'll be doing it. Wish you best of luck. And hope so I join on that 100th cricket podcast. So it's 82 now. Another 22 or how many?
28.
28 episodes. 18 episodes.
18.
Okay, I'm bad at math. 18 episodes will join the Legends and Lads Cricket podcast. Thank you once again, Maitreya, and thank you, the audience. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I think Google Podcasts is going off. So Spotify, and subscribe, follow, and give us a rating or a review. And thank you very much.